mindset to becoming a millionaire. I became a millionaire at the age of 25 and a multi-millionaire by the age of 26. You see, I believe that there's 8 things that every successful entrepreneur has to go through and change in their mind to become a millionaire. You see, I believe that the biggest separator between those people that are successful and not successful are the 10 inches right between here. If you can fix your mindset and you can get that right, the how-to, I promise you, becomes so much easier. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1 is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. What does this actually mean though? You see, everybody at some point in life gets to a point that makes them extremely uncomfortable. Everybody does. Whether that's you having a tough conversation with a coworker, whether that's you having to introduce yourself to someone that you've never met, whether that's you having to let go of an employee, whether that's you having to break free of the rat race and going to college and getting a good degree and finding a job and putting money into a retirement account and working till you're 65 and breaking free of that, and everybody telling you that you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. We all go through a point in life which makes us extremely uncomfortable, but you have to understand that moment of uncomfort is an opportunity for you to grow. I have a saying that says old ceilings become new floors. When you have that uncomfort moment set in and you're able to get past that and break through that old ceiling, that now becomes the new floor. Meaning that you get to continue to grow instead of taking a step back in that uncomfort and not moving forward into growth. A few examples in my life where I had that uncomfort set in, but I was able to break through that. You see, in my real estate career, I've bought and sold hundreds and hundreds of houses and owned $25 million in real estate today. All of it has been from using other people's money. So the first time I had to pick up the phone and try to raise money from somebody, why would someone lend a 21-year-old kid $250,000 with no experience and no background? It doesn't make sense. It was extremely uncomfortable. But guess what? I picked up the phone and I've since raised over $25 million to fund all my real estate deals. I remember the first time I got a phone call from somebody that wanted to sell their house to me. I didn't know what to ask them. I didn't know how to negotiate with them. I didn't know what the value of the property was. I had no clue. It was back in the flip phone days. And I literally answered the phone shaking. I was like, hello? Do you want to sell your house? Guess what? I didn't buy that house. But me continuously getting on the phone and having those uncomfortable conversations has allowed me to purchase hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of properties. I could give you countless examples of me getting uncomfortable. It happens to me every single day. But now when that happens, I get excited. I'm like, yes, it's a time to grow again. So I literally run headfirst into it. Even though I don't want to, even though I'm scared, even though I'm fearful, I know I have to do it because that's how I'm gonna grow. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. Number 2 is doing the work. I get asked often what the secret is, what the shortcut is to success. And the shortcut, the secret, is the work. Every successful person you know has put countless hours into mastering their craft. You see, most people give up just a little bit too soon. When they start going after that business and then they start hearing from the crowd, hey man, I thought you were going to be successful. Oh, you're not a millionaire yet? Oh, you're still living with your parents? Oh, you've been doing this for months and you haven't made any money doing it? People let that set in and they give up too soon. Do not give in to the negative people in your life. Quick story on how I got started in real estate. I maxed out my credit cards. I thought I was going to get rich overnight. It actually took me 16 months to do my first deal. During that time, I was valeting cars about 50 hours a week. I was going to college taking 15 credit hours. And when I tell you that I heard everything you can imagine from people close to me, 16 months of being broke, doing a business, they're like, hey, I thought you were doing real estate. Hey, you're doing all this work, but you haven't made a penny. Hey, why aren't you coming out and going to dinner with us and traveling with us and spring break with us and vacation with us? Why are you missing out on all those things and you don't even have any money to show for it? I heard all those things. But at that 16-month timeline, I flipped my first house. And I walked away with a check for over $100,000 4 days after my 22nd birthday. I built a custom house for myself at 24 years old. I became a millionaire at 25, a multi-millionaire at 26. I bought a Rolls Royce and a multi-million-dollar house all before the age of 30. Don't let the naysayers get into your head and do the work. It'll take you to where you want to go. Number 3 is taking that leap of faith and believing in yourself. I believe that we're all on this theoretical cliff looking over at what we want out of life, but the problem is 99% of people are looking over there and they hear everybody talking all that negativity, and then they start taking steps backwards. And they get comfortable and go back to what's normal. They get stuck in that rat race of life that 99% of the world gets stuck in. But there is that 1% that's looking over that cliff, and they actually have the courage to believe in themselves for a moment, and they take that leap of faith from belief. Those are the people that go out there and change the world and have massive success. But what does taking that leap of faith actually mean and actually look like? It means that you're gonna have a lot of questions. You will never, to this day, I still don't know every answer. You will never know every answer. You will fail. You may even lose a little bit of money. But guess what? If you continuously work and work and work, you will find a way. The questions will become answered because you've taken the action. The loss of money won't happen any longer because you've learned the lesson and you've built a tribe around you and people that you can call to get the right answer, so you don't have to go the hard way anymore. It means that you're willing to go all in on whatever it is that you want out of life. Let me take you back to when I started. I remember that I was trying to start investing in real estate, and I was making offers on a bunch of houses, and I was just making offers. I was like, yep, this offer, that offer, that offer. My mom came to me one day. She said, hey, Austin, you're making all these offers, but what happens if people actually accept the offer? You don't have the money to fund the deal. And I was like, I don't know, Mom, like I'll figure it out at that point. Like I have no idea how I'm gonna fund it. I just need to get the first house. Then I'll figure out how to bring the money in. Another example, I got an amazing lead on a house. I had no idea what to do. So I called my mentor. He told me to go to the property. I went to the property. I told him it had foundation issues. He said, put it under contract, contingent a foundation inspection. Put it under contract. I brought the foundation inspector in. It was $28,000 of repairs that needed. Called my mentor. My mentor was like, ask for a $28,000 price reduction. I went to the seller. I said, hey, here's the report. I need $28,000 off the purchase price. And I went from a $102,000 purchase to a $74,000 purchase. I had no idea any of those steps, but guess what? Me having the faith to put out the marketing, to get that lead, to pick up the phone to call my mentor, to ask those questions, guess what? It got me to make over 100 grand on my first deal. I get it. We all want the answers to everything when we start. We want the answers from A all the way to Z. You will never have those answers. You need to know like A, B, C, and D, and then go out there and do that, and then learn E, F, G, and H, and then do that, and then learn H, I, J, and K, etc. You will never have all the answers. You have to take that leap of faith and believe in yourself. Number 4 is to stay in your own lane. Especially with social media nowadays, we all see these other people and put ourselves down because we don't have their success. You gotta understand, social media, you see the best 1% of everybody's life, the best moments in their life, and you're comparing your life to their absolute best moments ever. Now that I'm on social media and I'm an influencer, I see behind the curtain of a lot of these people. By the way, make sure you smash and subscribe here on YouTube. I'm trying to grow this channel, but I see behind the curtain of everybody out there. And let me give you some influencer guru math. People will say, I sold $5 million of real estate, 5 million. And we'll be like, damn, that's a lot of money. But they only make 3% commission on it. So they made $150,000. But let's say they have $60,000 of expenses to operate their business. So they're gonna make $90,000. But also, they gotta give half of it to their broker. So guess what they end up making? Maybe $40,000, $45,000 off of a $5 million sold in real estate. Or a real estate investor saying, I did $1 million last year. But they have 30% marketing expense. They have another 200 grand in payroll. They have another 150,000 in other expenses. So they make $350,000. And after they pay their taxes at the end of the year, they make $200,000 to $250,000. So you're chasing this $1 million number, but they only made $200,000 in the first place. You gotta understand, everybody inflates their numbers to make it look like they're so successful. I promise you, it's not like that behind the curtain. Focus on your numbers and stay in your own lane. Number 5 is to change your mindset on money. You You gotta understand, money is not a bad thing. Growing up, I don't know about you, but if anybody asked how much money somebody made, they're like, oh, how much money do I make? Why would you ask me such a question? It's so crazy to me, because when you start hanging around successful people, guess what they talk about? Money. How much money do you make? What's your ROI? Where are you investing your money? How can I invest my money better? How can I tweak my business to take my revenue from $1 million to $2 million? They talk about money. Let me ask you a serious question. How in the world do you think you're ever going to make the amount of money that you have in your head right now? Whether that's 100 grand or $1 million or $10 million, how are you ever going to make that amount of money if you never talk about it? There's common sense. The things you talk about in life that are close to you in life, that you think about in life, you find ways to make those things a reality. So if you never talk about money or you're never around it, guess what? That's your reality. You're broke. Start putting yourself around people with money. Start talking about money. Start having a different relationship with money, and money will find a way into your life. Number 6 is be careful who you surround yourself with. There's an old saying that says, if you hang around with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the next millionaire. But let's look at it like this. If you're hanging around with 5 negative Nancys, that all they do is talk down and poo-poo on everybody's dreams, it's gonna be extremely difficult for you to be able to get out of that and have any success. But if you hang around with 5 other successful people that are making 100 grand a year or $1 million a year or are millionaires, guess what? It's gonna be a lot easier for you to be that next one, because those types of people are positive. They encourage you, they help you, they wanna see you win. And when you're around that type of energy, I promise you it's a lot easier for you to go out there and do it as well. So how do you put yourself in these circles? You gotta put yourself out there. When I was starting out, I went to as many networking events as humanly possible. I wanted to be around other people that were on the same mission as me. A lot of my best friends now, I have met through real estate, through networking events. So try to go out there and go to these networking events as much as possible. But if you wanna know the best way to get into these rooms, it's to pay to be in there. I pay every single year to be in masterminds, to be in the right rooms, because you're not paying to be in the room. You're paying for the people that are not in the room, because anybody paying to be there, guess what? They have a little bit of success. They want to make more money. They want to be more successful. So now you're in that circle, you can be one of them now. Number 7 is the power of affirmations. So what's the definition of affirmations? It's the action or process of affirming something. So guess what? The things that I doubted myself in my own life, I turned those into affirmations. One of the things that I was extremely scared of early on was meeting other people. I would literally drive to a networking event where people are there to network, and I would walk into the room and I would go bloodshot red and start sweating and get extremely nervous from having to talk to somebody else. I would literally turn around and leave and drive home. I drove there to network, I walked in and I left. I hated being around other people. I hated meeting other people. So guess what I did? I turned that into one of my affirmations. And one of those affirmations, what I said to myself every single day for years, was that I know that I bring value in any room and I carry my shoulders high when I walk into a room. So I didn't believe it at first, but I said that to myself every single day, year after year after year. And guess what? I started believing it. So when I walk into any room, I carry my shoulders high and I know I bring value in any room. So now when I walk in, I don't turn around and leave. I'm excited to be there, to go out and meet other people. So the things in your life that you have fear of, that you lack confidence in, turn those into affirmations and say them to yourself every single day, staring yourself right in the mirror. And somehow, eventually, you're gonna start believing that and acting that in the real world. And last but certainly not least, number 8 is to control the controllables. You gotta understand, 90% of the things that happen in this world, you have absolutely zero control of, none. But we spend 90% of our time trying to control those things that we have zero control of. Only focus on the things you can control. Stop worrying about everything else. So what are some things that you have control of? You can control what time you wake up. You can control how many phone calls you make. You can control what you eat. You can control if you work out or not. You can control if you sit on the couch and watch a bunch of movies, or you go to the gym, or you go to a networking event. These are all things that you can control every single day. The amount of offers that you make, these are the controllable things. And it's crazy what happens when you lock in to the things that you can control. like knocking on doors, like picking up the phone, like reading books, like stopping drinking alcohol. When you focus on those things, those uncontrollable moments in life tend to become a lot more controlled. It's crazy when you take the proper steps to set up your life for success, the uncontrollables become less and less and less. So control the controllables. So these are the 8 things that have absolutely changed my life, and I believe that every successful entrepreneur, businessman, businesswoman has to take control of these things in their life. So hopefully you go out and you take control of it as well. And if you're still here, if you could smash the like button, hit the subscribe button for more content just like this.